Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Amazing Shinsengumi, Heroes in Love. We're on Okita Souji's route, and we are doing his other two endings. First I will do his lowest affinity ending, which is Ignition, and then I will be reading his middle ending, which is Embers. So right now, Ignition, I'll be waiting for you. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. What happened to me? I thought I was a goner when the building fell on top of me.
Chizuru, are you alright?
As I slowly opened my eyes, Souji was looking back at me, worried. Souji,
You don't have to force yourself to get up. I'm sure you're still in shock from that happening all of a sudden.
Did you save me, Souji? Just as he smiled, I realized something.
Oh, well, for the most part.
As he quietly smiled, I noticed Souji's arm had a bandage over it. I also saw a scorched sleeve. Is that from... Souji didn't confirm or deny my trembling words. He just gently smiled.
Since I'm like this, I can't be of any help. Shall we go home and leave the rest of the other people?
He stood up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... I was the one who'd forcefully followed him. I'd chosen not to escape and stayed here. My actions were so selfish. Souji got injured again because of me.
Please, stop. If you cry like that, you'll make it seem like I'll never get better.
He adorned a smile as he joked.
I knew what I was getting into when I rushed to the scene of the fire. I'm proud I was able to save you.
And the child?
I was able to protect you at the cost of my own injury.
He spoke very gently to me. I should have been happy, but for some reason I was worried. Because he's injured, of course.
Now that I'm injured, I'm not confident I can protect you from here on out.
He spoke softly to me, but I didn't look away.
You always do such risky things, Chizuru. I can't have you caught up in any more danger.
I won't ever do it again. From now on, I'll quietly stay at the base, I promise. I knew what Souji was about to say, and replied accordingly.
It's not just because it's dangerous. It's just you...
In the middle of his words, something hit my back. Huh? What? Surprised, I turned around to see a child holding onto my back. It was the crying child from earlier. The one I was talking to. I'm glad you're okay. I smiled at him and he smiled back.
You look much better when you smile like that.
Souji smiled brightly as he said that. Souji.
Well, I'm sure something like that will happen again. Even so, I have no intention of leaving the Shinsengumi. This time, we delivered the finishing blow. I was lucky I didn't have to fight. However, I might have. There's a strong chance I would have bombarded the burning Takatsukasa residence as well.
No. I didn't think Souji would say something like that. Then again, his life was within Isami's hands. There are some orders he has to follow. Not out of duty, but he would do it because of his relentless personal creed.
If that happens, I'm scared you'll look at me with scorn because of my actions.
Leave so I won't have to endure that pain. That's what Souji was telling me. There's no way I could hate you. I wanted to tell him, but I couldn't say it. I was trying my best to hold in my tears. The fires at the Takatsukasa house and the Choshu residence in Kawaromachi Oike ravaged Kyoto. The Great Fire was later called Dondon Yake. The nightmare the Shinsengumi tried to stop at Ikedaya had become reality. However, in contrast to the intensity of the flames, there was a low casualty count at Takatsukasa. Okay, I'm skipping some here. Oh no! Okay, this is where it changes. It doesn't make any sense, why? I separated from the Shinsengumi and started living by myself again. No! I felt sorry for Isami and the other soldiers, but I couldn't stay there anymore. Thanks to my experience at Ikedaya, I became a worker at another inn. The job was perfect for me. I was able to fit in rather quickly. Luckily, the kid from the fire was able to reunite with his mom. He came to see me from time to time. Those days were calm and peaceful. It was just like Souji said, I might be fit for this kind of lifestyle. Our worlds were far too different. Still, sometimes I remember Souji and I'm filled with sorrow. When I peeked at the battlefield and where the fires occurred, I searched for him, but he wasn't there. I need to get over it. I'm being too clingy. I'm sure Souji has forgotten all about me. Then one day, not at a fire, nor a battlefield, not even on patrol with his fellow soldiers, I saw Souji walking alone in the city.
Good afternoon, Chizuru. Long time no see.
I couldn't even bring myself to talk to him, but Souji initiated the conversation and smiled at me. I haven't seen you in a while. My stomach was filled with butterflies after seeing his smile again. I thought how life by his side seemed like a far-off dream now.
It looks like you're happy at your job, too.
Oh yes, it's all thanks to you. That wasn't what I wanted to say, but I couldn't form a sentence very well. I realized something as I looked at Souji. Souji, did you lose weight? His right arm had healed, but his face was pale. He looked ill.
Have I?
Souji touched his face to check if it was true. Are you taking breaks regularly? Are you not feeling well? I remembered when he spat up blood at the Ikedaya, I began to worry.
No, it's nothing like that. It's probably because you're no longer with me.
Oh, me? My heart jumped at his unexpected answer. Does he mean he became ill from thinking about me so much?
Without your food, Chizuru, I'm always starving.
So without me to feed him, he's lost weight.
The food the other soldiers make isn't good.
Souji laughed as he destroyed my expectations. Is that so? I guess my food is more important than me. I was a little sad, but it was better than him completely forgetting about me.
So, will you come back and cook for me?
Huh?
Everyone else misses you too. I'm sure they'll be happy to see you again.
But, is it okay?
I'm the one requesting you to come back.
Souji chuckled at my words.
You're so cold to me. Just because you left the base doesn't mean you have to cut all ties, right? Can you come visit sometimes? I'll be waiting for you.
Yes, it would be my pleasure. I could see Souji again. I was so happy thinking about it, I answered with all my strength.
Great. Oh, look at him blushing again.
Souji embraced me tightly. Wait, Souji? People are looking. He hugged me all of a sudden in a street full of people. In my astonishment, I spoke.
Do you want to go somewhere less crowded? Bold, aren't you?
That's not what I meant. I frowned at Souji as he acted surprised on purpose. I'm sure I turned bright red. It didn't have much effect because he didn't even try to let me go. It's embarrassing having everyone watch us, but I'm so happy. It was warmth I hadn't felt in a long time. Souji's scent. His voice. I renewed my thoughts. I wanted to be by his side. Well, that was a pretty short ending there, but yeah, a good one still. Alright, so let's check out the mid-ending. Let us go back and load on Embers. Will you comfort me? Of course I will! I thought I was done for when the burning building crumbled. Then I heard Souji's voice.
Chizuru, get a hold of yourself!
As I slowly opened my eyes, I saw Souji with a serious look on his face. Souji,
I'm so glad. I was worried because you weren't opening your eyes.
Souji, you came to save me. As I was expressing my gratitude, I noticed something. I stopped smiling.
Oh, this.
Souji noticed my glance and was a little embarrassed. Souji's right arm was covered in bandages. His rolled-up sleeve was also scorched.
I made a little mistake. It's a little embarrassing. Something like this will heal in no time.
Souji smiled at me. Unfortunately, it didn't look like a little scratch. Did you get that when you tried to save me? Souji tried to hide it, but I ventured and asked that question.
It wasn't just for you,
he said kindly as he patted my head. I felt something tug on my sleeve. I looked over and a small child was looking at me. It was the kid crying near the fire, the one I'd been talking to. I'm so glad you're all right. I smiled at him and he smiled in return.
Yeah, even if you weren't there, I would have saved this kid. It's not your fault. I don't regret getting injured to save you. In fact, I'm proud of it.
Souji raised his arm as though he was showing off a medal.
In truth, I wanted to do it in a smoother manner. I wanted to save you without a scratch.
You're cool, Souji. You saved me and this child. It's all thanks to you.
Hearing you say that makes me happy. If I get hurt every time, I won't be able to protect you, right? I mean, you always act so rashly, Chizuru.
You're one to talk. I was so worried about you. I spoke in a very familiar tone and pouted as I argued with him. But your injury is my fault.
Like I was trying to say.
Let me nurse you back to health, okay? Soji's troubled expression changed after hearing my words. He opened his eyes wide. Then he smiled brightly.
Oh, that's right. Well, I guess I'm in your care.
And skip the same old stuff again. And here's the new part. That's awful. They're spreading the bad reputation without any evidence. You guys risked your lives to save people. While attending to Soji's wound in his room, I spouted out those complaints.
I don't mind it at all. I didn't do it to receive praise.
Souji had a composed expression on his face. But it's annoying how they misunderstood the truth like that. No matter what I said, it was true. I was taken in by the Shinsengumi. People thought I was just sticking up for them. It was irritating how I couldn't explain myself very well.
It's not exactly a misunderstanding.
Huh?
The Choshu set fire to the Choshu residence after running away. However, we can't deny the possibility that the shogunate spread the fire. Also, the imprisoned Choshu. It's true they were killed during the fire.
It's not like the Shinsengumi did it, though.
The Shinsengumi are part of the shogunate. It's inevitable that people see them as the same thing. No, perhaps it might be better for the shogunate if the Shinsengumi are treated like villains.
That can't be.
I'm just kidding. If Captain Kondo heard me, he'd be furious. At least, I'm not on the front lines.
Yeah. Souji couldn't go to the front lines because he'd gotten injured again. He'd said he would be better in no time, but he wasn't healthy enough to hold a sword. He could hold it, but he was in no shape to wield it. When I saw Souji look enviously at his fellow soldiers training, my chest hurt. I'm sure it was hard on Souji. He was an excellent swordsman and had Isami's trust.
Maybe I should train on my left arm to wield a sword. I'll try training with Heisuke.
Souji mumbled to himself. From Heisuke?
He's left-handed.
Really? How rare.
Indeed. He holds his sword in his left hand. Usually people correct themselves to do it right-handed. Hajime is ambidextrous.
Oh, that's so cool.
Well, that's why.
Do you want to go back to the front lines? Honestly, I'm relieved Souji doesn't have to be in danger all the time. He never says anything, so I never thought to bring it up, but his cough from before still bothered me. I'm sure he wasn't pale just from his injury.
Yeah. There are other tasks I could do for the Shinsengumi. But those things can be done by anyone. Captain Kondo and Vice Captain Hijikata want me to fulfill my role as a soldier.
Souji forcefully grabbed his wounded arm and spoke as if he was clamping down his teeth. Seeing Souji fighting the pain, I couldn't find the right words to say to him.
You might end up hating me. The bombardment on the Takatsukasa residence. If Captain Kondo had ordered me to, I would have taken part in it.
Huh? I was shocked at his words. But you tried to stop it.
When we got there, it was already finished. There hadn't been any attacks since then, and I haven't been given any orders. I've been prioritizing my job to protect Kyoto. Nevertheless, if that means I have to fight, there is no way I can disobey Captain Kondo.
A while ago, Souji said he entrusted his life to Isami. I was sure that's why fighting became his reason for living. Isami is really important to you, isn't he? I was a little jealous.
Yeah, if he wished for it, I would do anything he ordered. My dream is to make his dream come true.
Why can't it be to make my dream come true? Maybe his master wasn't the shogunate or the emperor. Maybe it was the leader of the Shinsengumi, Kondo Isami.
Before I would have. If I knew I could never hold a sword again, I would have committed suicide.
But now you have me! What? I shouted in reaction to his disturbing words.
If that happened, I wouldn't be of any use to anyone. My life would have no meaning. Living would have no value.
Souji! As he spoke softly, I remembered his lonely figure. I held Souji's hand. He smiled and grasped my hand.
But it's strange, isn't it? And that's how much you've saved me, just by being here next to me.
It should have been painful. The way he said it, it felt like I was the one being saved. Then I'll be by your side. I'll always be by your side.
All right. Are you going to take responsibility for my current condition?
Souji smiled softly and hugged me. Souji, if you do something like this, your bandage will...
You can do that later. Right now, I need you to soothe my heart. Will you comfort me?
I've never seen Souji act like a spoiled child before. It's kind of cute. I put my hand on Souji's head and started petting him. He opened his eyes wide for a second, but soon smiled.
I wish you'd comfort me in a way that's sexier.
What are you saying? You're injured, so you need to rest.
So long as I don't use my right arm, I'll be fine. If I don't get some exercise, I'll get lazy.
Oh, let me help you with that exercise then. What are you talking about?
You're such a tease. You know what I mean. You're just playing dumb. Your face is red, you know.
Souji chuckled as he looked at me. He's a bully as usual. I was used to this kind and gave back. To my surprise, I didn't actually hate it.
Don't pout like that. Holding each other won't be so bad, right?
Looking at my embarrassed expression, he must have thought I was angry. Souji gently whispered. Without waiting for my reply, he put his arm around me.
I'm glad you're here with me.
He mumbled his words. I entrusted him with my body as we cuddled. If there was anything I could do to ease his anxiety or his pain even a little bit, I want to always be by his side. That's what I thought from the bottom of my heart. So, those are Souji's other two endings. And all we have left is the sequel and date scenario. So, tune in for those, hopefully soon, if you want to hear them. I'm gonna go read those real quick before it gets too late. It's already almost 2 o'clock, so gotta get those done real fast. Alright. Hope to see you there or in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye, everybody.